feel rough. I'm not gonna lie. It was a long night. I have to secure that bag. So last year I made a video on my reaction to the KSI Logan Paul fight #1. This year I'm going to be doing the exact same thing, but with the #2 down the back of it, because that's how I roll. So I wasn't initially going to make a reaction because, you know, I didn't really think it was that much of a YouTube boxing event, because obviously it's not on YouTube. It's only got 2 YouTubers in. But the last couple of days of build-up really got me. I don't know why. I wasn't interested at all throughout the whole thing, and all of a sudden I was just hooked. I'm just going to say, this is a reaction video. I'm giving my reaction, my post-match reaction. How I'm not showing clips, because if I show clips, my channel will just get deleted. And, you know, that we're not about that life here on the DP14 channel. I said a lot of the stuff last year, and I think I can repeat myself pretty much most of the way. It's incredible to see 2 completely random people who work on the same platform as you kind of elevate themselves to this level and be able to perform on such a high level to so many people. It's quite inspiring. I hate to sound like a cringe lord, but it is quite, you know, it is inspiring. You can't lie. It really does boost it, especially the result. Oh, listen. Limbs, absolute limbs were flying, my friends. Absolute limbs. It was, oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know why. I wasn't even that invested leading up to it. It was just limbs, faces and limbs. But yeah, I wasn't. The undercards weren't that interesting, I'll be honest. The first one, was it? I don't even know if it was the first. There might have been ones before it, but the first one I saw was the bloke where he proposed to his girlfriend at the time, which was, you know, that was an okay fight. Then it went off to the Billy Joe Saunders fight. That was just naff. That just wasn't fun. Then it went to the Hayner fight. That was naff. It wasn't fun. Then it went to the B-Tech KSI Logan Paul fight. Oh my god, that was class. It didn't even last 1 round. The bloke got disqualified, and that was the greatest round of the whole fight. But I didn't really care about those. I watched them because I wanted to be invested, and I wanted to be hyped, and I wanted it to, you know, build tension. And I'm not gonna lie, that fight just before the KSI Logan Paul, it didn't even last a round, but that kind of got me in the mood. The bloke, he started going at him, and he built hype of the crowd. I reckon that was put there especially for that purpose, because if it was, then that is absolute genius to get this bloke who's now been disqualified 3 times from 3 fights to just start attacking some random bloke. It was class, honestly. But then it went on to the main event, and you could tell the difference between a YouTube event and a boxing event. It was much more professional. However, the parts I didn't like necessarily was, you have to remember these 2 are still entertainers, they're still influencers, and I think the boxing, although it did acknowledge that clearly, I just want to take a moment to talk about the kind of entrances. They were very lackluster. I'm pretty sure they were cool if you were inside the stadium. Sitting at home, they weren't very interesting, because basically there was just people talking over them, and it was just trash. But so the fight kicks off, and I'm sat at my friend's house, and we're going nuts. I don't know why we're going nuts. It's limbs. I tell you, limbs were flying, and we the first few rounds we thought KSI was cruising. No one believed him in there. I believed in him. I believed, and no one really seemed to, because obviously Logan Paul is such a massive goddamn unit. But then happened the thingamajig where KSI hit the ground and Logan hit him in the back of the head, and oh my god, at that moment the whole room erupted. I've never heard anything like it. How so few people can make so much noise at such a late. This was like 5:45, 6:00 in the morning. This was mental. We were flying around. We were running around. I had no idea what was going on. Honestly, I was miffed. I think from that moment, to me personally, it was kind of clear that he had probably clinched it. Unless Logan Paul came up with something absolutely incredible, in the last round or two, I think it was that point, 100%, that KSI had he'd definitely swayed it in his favour at least. So in the last 2 rounds, and Logan didn't really do anything, but the general fight was very even, and it was consensus among me and my friends that it was either going to be a draw or a KSI win, and I was really hoping it wasn't going to be a draw. I really, really hoped it wasn't going to be a draw. That would have literally been the worst possible thing that could have happened. Like, I was rooting for KSI every single day of the week, but I would have rather Logan won than it be another draw. Honestly, that was my worst fear. However, obviously, he won, and you thought you'd seen limbs when he punched him in the back of the head. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. It was, I don't know why. It wasn't that, we were getting involved in the fight. It was great. It was a lot of fun. But I've watched some incredible football matches in my time. Supporting Liverpool, honestly, there has been some great comebacks. This was up there. This was, I don't know why. We were just ecstatic that this man had won it. I think it's because they paint the scene that it is UK versus America. I mean, I don't really like Logan Paul. I've never really watched him. I can't really comment on his actual content. I've always watched KSI for years and years, but so that I was invested in for that. However, they obviously do the America v Britain narrative, and they play the national anthems, and it just gets you even more invested. And once you're invested that much into a singular fighter, it just takes over. And I feel like if he didn't win, it would almost dishearten me, and I probably wouldn't make this kind of video. However, he won, and limbs were flying, faces were being smashed. It was goddamn carnage. And honestly, if I got anything from this, I would say that this should probably be the end of YouTube boxing. Now, I mean, if anyone, any big boys want to spar with me, but on a real, I think YouTube boxing has probably peaked. I can't guarantee. Maybe someone will come in and, beat him out the park. If it carries on, it will just kind of fade out, and it won't be that interesting, and it will lose its charm. And honestly, it was so much fun, but if I would hate for someone to saturate it and suddenly make it not like that. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. That's what I'm trying to say. My reaction is, what a fight. It was actually a really good fight. It was by far the best fight of the night. And I just, honestly, to anyone who calls me a cringe lord or says, why are you doing that? I am a YouTube content creator, okay? This is my platform. This is what I do in my spare time. These are some of the biggest dogs on YouTube. That is why I'm involved. However, that's why I'm partially involved, but they are able to sell the crowd so well. And one thing I respected the most was when they were asked about a rematch. Logan, obviously, he was very up for it. But KSI, he said no, obviously. And that almost got the same amount of reception to him winning. We were so pleased because you just don't want this narrative over and over and over again. It needs to be something fresh. If they do it again, it needs to be something fresh and something interesting. They shouldn't just do it for the sake of doing it. And that's exactly what Eddie Hearn said. A lot of people will now put on fights just for the sake of it, to build on the success of that. However, he would only do it if there was really, really, really high, potential for it. So, that was my reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was a bit all over the place, but that is because my brain is all over the place. I have woken up about an hour ago. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please do some like and subscribe. I've been your man DB14. So yeah, Jake Paul is a prick.
Chomp, 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 chomp. Ooh. Chomp chain, ayy, yeah. Chomp chain, ayy, yeah. Chomp chain, ayy, yeah. Chomp chain, ayy, yeah. Chomp, 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 chomp.